We didn't choose a control freak life. It chose us. As a control freak, my most common question is, why am I like this? Because genuinely, we did not ask to be this way. We want to be open. We want to be spontaneous, nonchalant, flexible, going with the flow, because we love the idea of that. But in reality, it freaks us out. Softness doesn't come naturally when control is all you have known and is what has kept you safe. If you're always planning, fixing, holding everything together, softness feels like a luxury you don't have. Control becomes a habit, and if you don't work on it, it can take up much, much more of you. It sounds ironic, but you can control how much of the control freak you let out to the surface. Because not the entirety of you is a control freak. It is one of the few personas that you have inside that comes out in certain situations. You might have a hyper version of yourself. You might have a romantic, a moody, a control freak version of yourself. They all might be permanent parts of you, but they don't all have to have equal airtime. I was a control freak from a very, very young age. If we were to go on a walk with my family and me and my mom were ahead of everyone, I would literally hold her hand and make her wait for my dad and brother to catch up to us because I wanted all of us together. I felt the need to control that situation. I grew up building more trust in myself and less trust in others, and none of this was caused by external factors. It was all purely internal. It was part of who I genuinely was. But over time, you realize that your world becomes so small. You shut external ideas, suggestions, opinions out because you tell yourself they just don't get it like you do. They do get it though. Different doesn't mean wrong. At some point, you will either have a life that feels safe enough to finally let go, or through hardship, you'll realize that living a life in constant control is no longer productive, whichever comes first. You'll come to realize that trusting others and letting go of control is not a weakness. You'll learn to release the trust that you kept caged inside yourself for so long and allow yourself to have more faith in what the universe and its people have to offer you. So these are my top 9 tips, some mental, some practical, that allow you to invite a softer way of living when control is all that you have known. So number 1, you must accept that each person is their own individual and therefore is responsible for their own choices and consequences. A control freak thinks that everything within their reach is their responsibility. Try to understand that as much good as you think you are doing in this moment, it is problematic that you think you deserve this much power. Make it a bad thing for once, because you've spent all this time justifying your need for control, why being a control freak is good, all the people you have helped. But maybe it's time to flip the narrative and villainize something that you no longer want to be associated to. The most you should have over people is influence where it's welcomed, not control. What are your intentions, actions, and reactions is your responsibility. What are other people's is not your responsibility. Don't be so superior and selfish as to assume that the situation needs you. Letting people experience the natural consequences of their own actions isn't cruel, it's respectful. And actionable things that will help you unlearn your grasp of control is applying it to the smaller daily scenarios. For example, let them be late. Let them learn the hard way. Let them make their own mistakes. You have to go through the discomfort of not just jumping and solving the problem for them. It will feel like the hardest thing at the time, but gradually it becomes easier and easier until you're fully able to let it go. Number 2, honestly, sometimes it's better not to ask so many questions. Sometimes it's better not to know if you're the type that tends to spiral, overthink, worry, catastrophize certain scenarios. It's very common that control often conceals itself as just trying to understand. But it's so easy to then spiral further into the situation because now you just know too much unnecessary detail that's gonna make you overthink. It's gonna make you question things. Learn to emotionally protect yourself when you know that feelings like guilt, embarrassment, or stress are likely to arise from the answers to your questions. It's choosing peace over problems that you're probably gonna exaggerate that don't need your involvement. Number 3, aim to enter a situation with a curious mindset over a critical one. But actively do this. Keep that at the top of your mind. Go from criticizing to choosing to be inspired. Go and do the thing you were criticizing them for. Make it fun. Get involved. Ask them to teach you their way. You need reminding that life isn't always as serious as you make it out to be. Use more opportunities to learn new things. Maximize the times that you can connect with people rather than criticize them. Become someone who is here to learn and not teach. You don't have to have the answer to everything. And even if something is super low level and basic, it is your choice whether you want to create any value that you gain out of it. Because softness grows when you are a student, when you're curious, when you're open-minded and gullible and open and eager to learn. And you create space for play and error. Those are the beautiful moments of life, the unexpected ones, not forced and predictable order. Number 4, so what? I'm late. So what? I forgot. So what? I didn't come across the way I meant to. So what? Give yourself more grace. Do you not deserve it? After all this time of overly preparing, overly considering, overly empathizing, overly caring, do you not deserve a break and for someone else to take over for once? You're late? Let it be their problem. You forgot? Let it be their problem. It is not about becoming horrible and careless. It is about going from this extreme of righteousness and self-control to a point of neutrality, which is where most people start. So for you to give yourself slack from this point is not the same as this person giving themselves slack from that point. And just remember, the people who truly know you already understand that. And the people who don't, well, their opinion never meant to carry that much weight in the first place anyway. Number 5, be smarter with the way that you plan things. As control freaks, you would think that we are great at planning and are very organized. But a lot of time, what puts me in my most stressful situations, that happens more often than I would like it to, is overestimating my ability to get a lot done in a small amount of time. Because you have high expectations of yourself or you don't trust other people to do it, you choose to do everything yourself. Giving yourself more time to do things slowly and more delicately is the softness that you have been missing. How many times have you burnt yourself or cut yourself or broken a nail? Did that feel soft? No. That felt rough. That felt painful. That felt clumsy. Where is the self-love and expecting the most from yourself in the tightest of windows? You tell me. Number 6, fall in love with imperfection. Fall in love with a handmade. We love looking at pretty, organically made dishes or expressive art or unexpected humorous stories. But none of these things have the element of perfection. And as control freaks, we try to find the perfect process of getting things done. Let go of doing things your way for the sake of being able to reach a beautifully unique outcome. Number 7, on the topic of perfection, perfection is in fact the least perfect thing. Stop seeking for something that doesn't and shouldn't exist. The more I think about it, the people that try to seem like the most perfect kinds of people or seem too good to be true are actually the least likable. The older I get, the more I want to spend time with interesting people. People that have made the wrong choices along the way, but despite that have made it here. If you agree and apply that perspective to other people, you will understand and realize that other people probably think the same way about you. So there is no need for you to be perfect or to control situations in order to make them perfect. The way I can prove the truth in the fact that perfection is the least perfect thing is think about the memories that you want to look back on. Would you rather look back at the family photo that looks so perfect? It was a very clear countdown. Everyone smiled, not too much to show the teeth, not too much to show the wrinkles, but just enough to look happy. Or those silly photos where everyone's just being themselves. Imperfection is the new perfection. And anyways, to be perfect is to accept other people's imperfections. Number 8, every reaction you have is a choice. You can actually choose and attempt to relax. You don't have to continue being a control freak at certain moments of time. Your first reactive impulse might be out of your control, but as time goes on, you have more time to process how you want to continue reacting. You can take over your control freak narrative, do the opposite of what you normally would do. Be soft in your strength to change and choose a wiser approach to problems. Choose a more forgiving approach. Nothing is more beautiful and feminine and soft than forgiveness. Number 9, laugh in moments where you feel you're most irritated. Not in a creepy psychopathic way, but in a exhaling way, in a relieving your stress kind of way. It tricks your body, and if you're alone and can do it for long enough, it actually takes you out of that tense and worked up mood. And it's not even a fake it till you make it situation, because even intentional laughing has incredible positive benefits by triggering the release of happy chemicals. It relaxes the muscles, particularly around your jaw, and just removes the whole seriousness of a situation that you can't really do much about anyway. Sometimes literally the softest thing that you can do is admit when something's out of your hands and let your body loosen its grip. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please subscribe and I'll see your better versions next time.